Hello guys, this is Vaish. We are going to continue the 2018 series, and this is very important because it is the toughest paper till date. If you take the last 15 years of question paper, 2018 was the toughest, and there are many reasons for that. The questions which they picked, the topics which they picked, and the way the statements were phrased, and again after that the options how they were phrased. Everything was difficult. So that is why only 30 to 40% of the question paper were topics which were like you can do it in one reading. Others you had to sit and analyze, and you needed more time to solve it. So the more time means the exam becomes difficult. Okay, if you take 2016 paper and all, it will be very easy. In one reading you will read the question, immediately you will get the answer, or you will know whether to skip it or not. But 2018 was a confusing kind of paper. Every topic you will be looking like, okay, this looks solvable, but finally what happens is you go and mark the negative one, the wrong one. So that is why please focus when you are studying 2018 paper. This will at least the 2020 students who are going to give exam next month or the month after that, you people will have a better idea whether you are actually ready for this exam or not, okay, by solving 2018 paper. Then about the channel subscription, whenever we upload video, we request you to subscribe the channel because we wanted to keep it free. Okay, the entire channel we wanted to keep free, but the way things are happening, if you see, this is the last 4 days or 5 days statistics I've taken. 30,000 views including all the videos. If you say 19,000 people are the ones who have not subscribed, so you people want to come to the channel, watch the videos for free, get the benefits, and not even give a thank you note, okay, which we are not asking you to put comments or something. Just click on the subscribe button. Okay, if you don't want to turn on the notification, don't do that also, because maybe some people don't like that. But at least if you subscribe, the channel will look appealing to others who are coming newly to UPSC preparation. They will understand that, okay, this is something which many students are using for preparation. So we have requested you many times now. Since it is not being done, I think from next week onwards I'll set it in such a way that only the ones who have subscribed will be given the link to watch the videos. So what will happen is, you people, when you are the non-subscribe people, when you come to the channel, you will think like, okay, no new video has come, nothing has come. So you will think like, okay, let them upload. But what happening is, the video has been uploaded, but the link has been set in such a way that it will be visible only to the people whom we share the link. Okay, so we will set it that way. So if you don't want to subscribe, then don't enjoy the video content also. Okay, so because we don't want to go to a level where the videos will be paid, okay, like this much you pay and then watch economics, this much you pay then watch history, because that is what other institutes are doing. If we also want to do that, we can do it, but to avoid that, click on subscribe and watch the content for free. Okay, so before going to the first question, this is the first question today. I will go to the UPSC website where something is there. If you see here, the marks of the candidates of CSE 2019 will be disclosed after 7/9/2020. okay, so 2020 September 7, after that only your marks will be published, because I know 2019 students were asking me, where can I see my marks? Because even the person who failed or passed or whatever, UPSC does not give you the marks till the rank is out. So now the rank was out 2 weeks back or 3 weeks back. After that we were expecting it will come. So they published the cutoff, they published the answer key, everything, but they did not publish the marks. Okay, so that is one update. September 9th only will get. Another thing, if you see September 7, October 17, 18, some exams are there and they are telling it stands rescheduled on this thing, meaning they have no intention to change it. So that means the October 4 exam also, I don't think they will have any intention to change it. So your exam will happen in the next 40 days or something, 30 to 40 days. So please be ready with your preparation. Okay, and you have to work extra hard to revise everything what you are weak in. Okay, so these are the updates in the UPSC website today. Going on to the MCQs. First MCQ is actually a GK kind of question, you can tell. Like, he wrote biographies of Mazzini, Garibaldi, Shivaji, Sri Krishna, stayed in America for some time, and was also elected to the Central Assembly. Okay, then he was. So they have put like 3 extremist name and then Motilal Nehru. They have given their names, and it's like a GK. Unless you have studied it, you cannot do it. And we also have not taught you in this way actually. Only statement here which we can help you solve through ICIS materials is like stayed in America. Okay, out of these 3, only person who were like when the World War I was going on, okay, like 1910 onwards or 11 onwards, the person who went to America for some time was Lala Lajpat Rai, and that we have taught in multiple. These are some screenshots from Spectrum lecture, and exact statement which you want is there in one of the PIB link. Okay, I'm just telling you the source for this, so that next time you know like what kind of questions are coming. Okay, a detailed PIB is there, a blog kind of thing, WordPress, they have a site. So there, one person has written a very detailed one, and there this statement is there. Popular biographies on Mazzini, Garibaldi and all. These 2 personalities, when you study world history, you will study. Okay, he's part of the Italian movement. Okay, Mazzini and Garibaldi. So this thing was a difficult question because it's not covered in usual textbooks. Okay, only thing, as I told, the stayed in America part, if you know, you could have taken a guess that it is Lala Lajpat Rai. It is not A or B, and not even D. Okay, so that is the only way we could have helped you. So this is the points, and this is the PIB link. You can just type this again and see, read the entire thing about him. But I don't think they will repeat it. Next year they'll repeat. They will ask a question about Bipin Chandra Pal or Aurobindo Ghosh. So study about these four. This becomes important because it's there in UPSC bucket list. Okay, they can put a new question on these people. Next one, Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card can be used as a proof of citizenship or domicile. Okay, so that is a false statement, and everybody will know that it's a false statement because even on your Aadhaar card it is written. Okay, if you have take it out and see, it's written that it is not a proof of citizenship. Okay, so that is wrong. Then once issued, Aadhaar number cannot be deactivated. Okay, this also is wrong, and you will know that if you have following current affairs. There was a news in 2017-18. That is why this was asked. Like some 80 or 100 Aadhaar cards have been deactivated, and if you go to UIDA website, okay, there is a paragraph itself under their clauses. Okay, this is a website, uida.gov.in. In that there is a data update PDF. Okay, in that PDF this is written like deactivation, what is the conditions. Okay, like when you suppose you have an Aadhaar card when you are born, and then after that you have to submit your biometrics after a few years. So by that age, if you don't do, age 5, age 15, some timeline is given. Okay, you don't have to by heart all this, but there is a clause like if you don't give the biometrics, it can be deactivated. Okay, so these are certain conditions. You can go and read it again because for your mains you can use it maybe as a pointer. Okay, so Aadhaar card is not a citizenship proof, and it can be deactivated. Okay, so both are false. Okay, Calcutta High Court even told that Aadhaar card is not a proof, and it's written on the Aadhaar card. Question number 13. This was again difficult question because they are asking immensely dried up in the recent past. Okay, which C. So if you see, RLC was in news drying up since many years, because earlier it was a very big one, and now it is like C. It is like just in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Okay, this is how it is. Earlier it was spread, the drainage was spread to more Central Asian countries, and it was a bigger sea. So that is one which you will know if you see the size of the sea and all. And Lake Baikal also was in news, but it is answer key, when UPSC answer key came, the answer they are telling is one only. Okay, like Black Sea is not even there in picture, and this one, even though it is drying up, it is not immensely dried up. So here students were confused between one only and 1 and 3, and it is okay to get confused also. This was difficult. That's why I told 2018 the options were set in such a way that even if you eliminate something, still you have to think. Okay, still you have to think of the answer. So that is why this was a difficult, and answer is one only. As I told, RLC is the one which was immensely drying up. Lake Baikal is also drying up, but depending on the question's phrasing, answer is only RLC. Okay, and there are many lakes and seas like this which you have to study, because every year one question is definite to come. Okay, so here it is Lake Baikal. This one, if you see in Russia, this is Lake Baikal, which is also drying up. And then this one, Black Sea, which at least 5 times question have come. In 2019 also question came. Okay, you have to study this bordering countries also. This Georgia, Russia, Romania, GRR, BOT. That's what I taught you. Bulgaria, Ukraine and Turkey. Okay, GRR, BOT. These are the things. And here one agency is there. Here Sea of Marmara is there, which I told you. And here 2 openings which you see, one here near Istanbul, and here these are 2 straits. Okay, it's not written here, but one is Strait of Bosphorus and Dardanelles. Okay, this is Dardanelles. D is here, Dardanelles, and B is here. Okay, near Black Sea, the B. That's where you can remember. Okay, Bosphorus Strait is here, BB. This small opening, and here Dardanelles Strait. Okay, and here Sea of Marmara, here Mediterranean Sea. Turkey is there, then Caspian Sea, you should know where it is, because all these things are very important. Here in this small screen you can see. Okay, here Caspian Sea is also there. So because questions repeatedly comes from this topic, so it's important for you. Next one, rule of law index. It is again a difficult question. Usually UPSC asks very popular ones where the bodies itself will be like World Bank or IMF or WEF or United Nations. But this time if you see the options itself, it's all what to say, not a very big intergovernmental kind of body. It's either an NGO or it's a business school, something like that. So Amnesty International, International Court of Justice, Office of UN Commissioner, and World Justice Report. So if you see rule of law, so again they put 2 things which are justice also. So again you will get confused. That's why I'm telling you, you cannot take a guess also here. But the answer is World Justice Report, and it was not there much in Indian news. Only one article in 2018 March or something, a Hindu article was there in which this was mentioned. Okay, and what is this? This is actually what is WJP? As I told, is an American independent multidisciplinary organization with a stated mission of working to advance the rule of law around the world. And this is an annual report, Rule of Law Index. It is a quantitative assessment tool designed to offer a detailed and comprehensive picture of the extent to which countries adhere to the rule of law. So rule of law, how much they practice, to what extent each country practice. Okay, so around 113 countries were taken in that 2018 report. So 8 dimensions are covered and 44 indicators are covered. So these are the 8 dimensions: limited government powers, absence of corruption, order and security, fundamental rights, everything like basic things. Okay, and here also India was ranked 62, not like a very high rank, but almost half. Okay, rank 62, better than all these neighbors: China, Pakistan, Myanmar, Bangladesh. This is what I took from this Hindu article, because when I googled it, this is the only link I got. So that's why I'm telling. It's an American independent body and they are doing something. I don't know why UPSC asked this. So 2018 they purposely made it tough, and that is how this is. So you can buy at it, and you should also study about these 3 bodies, what reports they give, because next year maybe a question will come on these 3 bodies. Okay, it will come. So please prepare all these 4 bodies. It will be there in one of our test anyway, test series. Now this one, which one of the following links all the ATMs in India? Okay, so this is again a little bit difficult unless you read about every particular body. Okay, now these 4 things becomes important for you, and I'm sure we have covered all these in our test series anyway, but you have to study what is Indian Bank Association, National Security Depository Limited, NPCI, and Reserve Bank of India. Out of this, I think this AAC and D would have studied a lot anyway, because it's always in the news, especially after demonetization. This National Payment Corporation, because they are the ones who make everything, the UPI, the BHIM, the Aadhaar enabled payment system, everything. And here also the answer is this only, National Payment Corporation of India. Okay, and if you go to the National Financial Switch, okay, which is also a thing made by this NPCI, there it's written National Financial Switch ATM network having 37 members and connecting about 50,000 ATMs was taken over by NPCI from this Institute for Development and Research in Banking Technology. Okay, this is an RBI body, this IDRBT, this is an RBI body. From that, in 2009 itself, it was taken. Okay, so now 8-9 years later, UPSC decided to ask you something like this. So this is not something which is very popular and you are expected to learn, but because it's a very general thing, like what is the thing which links the ATM, because ATM recalibration was in news, okay, because of new notes and all coming in. So now you have to just by heart this thing, and you have to study about these 4 bodies in detail, so that you will be able to answer anything which comes in the next exam. Okay. Now question number 16. This is a easy question if you follow a very good test series or anything of previous year. Okay, because capital adequacy ratio has been asked many times in UPSC in both prelims and mains. So this is something like the amount that the banks have to maintain in the form of their own fund to offset any loss that banks incur if the account holders fail to repay dues. Okay, like if bank has any crisis, they have to have something. So already you know there are CRR, SLR and all these things which banks maintain with RBI or with themselves and all. That is all Indian thing. That is all RBI decides through their quantitative policy. But capital adequacy ratio is something which is like internationally there is a thing called Basel norms. Okay, Basel 1, 2, 3 is there now. Basel 1 was I think 1970s and Basel 3 around 2010 they started. So they are norms which by this body, if you see here somewhere, where is it? Basel Committee is there, and International Bank is there, Bank of International Settlement, which is in Basel. Basel is a place in Switzerland, so it's called Basel norms. Okay, started by G10 countries. Go and find out. Okay, G10 countries are there, G11 countries are there. All these are very important for your banking. Okay, so there is something called this norms, and they are the ones who have this framework, regulatory framework on bank capital adequacy. Okay, so that is what is asked. So here, this is true, this definition is true. This is something which bank has to maintain so that for some crisis they will have some fund, and how much they have to maintain, that is not decided by individual bank. So this is wrong. Okay, it is not decided by individual bank like SBI or SDFC. They will not decide it, but the central bank, that is RBI, will decide it. And RBI, how it will decide? It will decide based on the norms given internationally. It's not like RBI themselves will decide some number. Okay, so I think it's like 9% or 10% something is there. So that value they will decide. Okay, the see, in 1970s adopted by central bank. So whatever they tell, the norms, they will be adopted by RBI, and that will be followed by all the bank. So 2 is wrong. So answer is 1 only. Okay. So these are very if you do previous year papers and if you know basics from good test series, this will be solved. Okay, the screenshot is from my test series only. So we have a detailed 2-3 MCQs on Basel norms. Now question number 17. Again, Aadhaar. The identity platform Aadhaar provides open application programming interface, API. What does it imply? So this was again difficult because many students don't even know what is this. It's like an open source. Okay, like when this thing is allowed, you can reprogram it, you can put it in your own way, you can code it and put it in any device. So that is the general meaning. But when it comes to Aadhaar, this became a very controversial question also that time, that like it can be integrated into any electronic device. So any electronic device means there are many other than phones or smartphones, laptops and all. There are like electronic device is a very common word. Okay, like TV or alarm clock or music system, anything is an electronic device. So this was very controversial. Everybody told it was false. and this online authentication using iris is possible. This was kind of true which coaching institutes were telling till last year, but now when the answer key came, they are telling answer is both 1 and 2. Okay, so both 1 and 2 means it can be integrated into any electronic device, and online authentication using the iris is possible. So these two are true according to UPSC, and where they have taken it from is a blog which I found 2016. There was a blog written, Times of India blog. Okay, how digital India save India unlike China, and in that this is the screenshot, and this is exactly picked up from here. Aadhaar provides open application programming interface or API which can be integrated easily into any electronic device. Okay, and enable online authentication using fingerprint of iris. So it is directly taken. So UPSC decided to pick it up from this random article, and you have to study it like this. Okay, so this in future if it comes, these two are true. Okay, this API of Aadhaar, any device, and iris and fingerprint. Question number 18. Very recently, in which one of the following countries have lakhs of people either suffered from severe famine, acute malnutrition, or died due to starvation? This was easy because the civil war, you know where civil wars are happening. It's happening around Yemen, Syria, Central Asia, that region. Okay, Middle East region. Okay, so here they have given all African countries and South American countries in the first three options. If you see, Angola and Zambia is in Africa, Morocco and Tunisia is in Africa, Venezuela and Colombia is again South America. Okay, but Yemen and South Sudan, this is the answer actually, and it was easy if you follow regular current affairs. Okay, it was always in news. So these are two random things which I took Indian Express articles. Okay, it's there in almost every newspaper, but I just took where it's like clearly given in a very bolded statement. So these two are articles, and so it was easy. Okay, it was attemptable if you are a very good UPSC student, because you know these things are happening every day. Okay, whereas Houthi rebels are there in Yemen, they are fighting. In South Sudan also, the new country which is formed in Africa, there fighting is happening. Okay, the president was overthrown. Okay, that's how the new country, this is a new country actually. You should know that South Sudan did not exist. There was only something called Sudan, and in 2011 something called South Sudan came into existence, and now it is also a UN member also. Okay, so like that, if you know basic current affair, what is happening around, you will know this is a very easy question. Question number 18 is answer is D. Now this is the easiest question for today, Woods Dispatch. Okay, which, like, if you don't study, that means you are, I don't know what you studied for the 1 year. Okay, because it's the most important part in your spectrum also, and modern history also, and at least countless number of times it has been asked in UPSC prelims. Okay, only in prelims. Mains is different thing. In prelims itself, many times it was asked. So Granton Aids was introduced, establishment of universities was recommended, and English as a medium. This is the thing which they have given you as a clue also. Suppose you did not study this properly, still this statement you should have known, that in primary schools it is vernacular language, not English language. Okay, like now the latest one what government is trying to do in new education policy, vernacular language is the one for primary. So 3 alone, if you eliminate here 3 3 3, you will get the answer 1 and 2. Okay, so this was one of that type of question where I always tell you eliminate one statement and you directly get the answer. Okay, so this is the answer 1 and 2, and this is the easiest one, and this is my spectrum slide, chapter number 13 and 14. Okay, video number third last video of my spectrum series. Go and watch that. Every education thing I have done in detail. Okay, so whatever you see, that statement will be here. Universities are there, then this education should be secular, grant in aid, then vernacular primary school. Okay, if you study my spectrum alone, you can solve every question which comes in modern history. So please do that series seriously. Okay, and please subscribe also. Please don't watch it for free and not even let us know that you are learning from us. Okay, please subscribe to the channel and study from these things. Last question for today. With reference to the Parliament of India, which of the following parliamentary committees? Okay, this is a very big thing. They just copy pasted the committee functions. Okay, scrutinizes and reports to the House whether the powers to make regulations, rules, sub-rules, bylaws, so all are law. Okay, and the answer is also directly given, subordinate legislature. Okay, it's all about whether the executive is actually adhering to the thing. Okay, like making the rules, and whether parliament are being properly exercised by the executive. That is what they're asking, and this is a direct definition. If you study Lakshmikant, you will solve it, and we have a detailed revision chart also where every committee with the number, whether it's there in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and what is the members, everything I've done in detail here. Okay, so you can go through this table, because this table has almost everything which has been asked in the prelims and which is expected to be asked in prelims next year. Okay, like this there are, I think 30-40 charts are there anyway for polity. Totally there are more than 200 charts, and for 2021 I am designing 50 more charts, so it will be 250 charts in the package. Okay, you whoever is enrolling to the full test series, they will get this during their revision phase next year. So try to make use of these things. These are things which you will get only at YCIS. Now 2020 students, you can enroll to the packages as per the revision you are doing. Okay, because I want my students to clear this year, and we want ranks to be published next year. Because what happens is, as I told, people don't subscribe, people enjoy and study everything for free, and they don't even come back. Okay, so you have to start studying in the right way and then get back to us, because we can help you guide learn in the mains phase also. We have excellent mains test series where you will be writing almost every topic in detail, and I will be evaluating it for you. So first step is clear the prelims first. So 2020 students, whichever you are weak in, please come and get that. Okay, like I told, economics topics, everything is there, polity is there, science is there. Whichever you feel you did not touch now, take our test and study that. Many questions are going to come. Okay, especially from the revision chart. That's why I tell you to buy the pack 1 itself, because many questions will come from there itself, and you have only 50 days, less than 50 days now. So make use of that very wisely. Okay, so I'll come up with this next chapter soon, 21 to 30, next episode. Till then, enjoy learning. Thank you and have a nice day.